We're going to create 7 motion graphics in CapCut for free. I'll also show you my favorite trick to create a 3D CapCut logo. Motion graphics are one of the best ways to make your videos more engaging and ultimately grow your channel. Watch this video until the end, and I guarantee you'll learn something new to use in your videos. I've provided all my assets in the link below, including the motion graphics I'll be creating. Feel free to use them in your videos. Let's get started with our first motion graphic. We're going to create a cool animation of a ball trapped inside a box. This is actually very easy to do. First, place the background on the timeline. To make our animation stand out, let's darken the background. Select the background layer, then go to the top right corner and click on Adjustment. After that, scroll down and increase the vignette. Now, hover over to the top left menu and click on Text. Add a text layer to the timeline and make sure to extend its length to match the background. In the right-hand menu, click on the text box, delete the default text, and type in several dashes. Adjust the character spacing to -6. Scroll down, turn off Uniform Scale, and increase the width of the line to your desired length. Next, drag the line to the top to start forming a square. Right-click on the text layer, copy it, and paste it on top. Go to the preview screen and move the newly created layer underneath. Go back on the timeline, copy and paste another line to form the sides of a box. Rotate the line 90 or 270 degrees and place it on the side. Make sure to rearrange the other lines to match the length of this vertical line. Now, copy and paste the last line on the timeline, rotate it vertically, and place it on the remaining open side of the box. Now, your box is complete. Select all the text layers on the timeline and position them in the center. Next, let's create a moving ball. Go to the top and add another text layer to the timeline. Match its length to the other layers. Click on the text box, delete the default text, and type a dot. Adjust the dot size by dragging its corners. Now, position the dot in the center or wherever you want your animation to start. To animate the ball, go to the left menu and scroll down to find the Transform section. Turn on the keyframe for Position. Move the playhead a few frames forward, then move the ball to its first position. Return to the timeline, move the playhead again, and adjust the ball to its next position using the preview screen. Keep repeating this process. If needed, you can extend the length of the clip by dragging all the layers forward. For the last keyframe, make the ball return to the center where it all began. Let's take a look at what we've done so far. It looks great, but there's room for improvement. To change the color of the ball, click on the color box and choose your color. Another option is to scroll down and turn on the glow effect. You can then adjust the glow color. I'll keep the current color and experiment with the intensity and range. Now, when we play the video, the animation looks much better. I'm going to select all the layers except the background, right-click, and create a compound clip. Next, let's resize it so we can add some eye-catching words of wisdom. You can use ChatGPT or Google to find such quotes. Resize the text and choose the font you like. I'll also change the keyword stuck to the color of the ball to make our video more meaningful. To add the finishing touch, click on Effects, go on the left menu, and reveal the names of effects by clicking on the small arrow. Select Retro. We'll use one of these noise effects to make our video better. I'm going to use Noise 2 for this particular animation, but you can use whatever pleases you. Now, let's take a look at what we've created. If you like that, stick around until the end for more cool animations. Now we're going to create a YouTube motion animation, a progress bar that shows when a YouTube video is playing. To start, drag and drop the clip you want to use onto the timeline. Resizing the video is optional. Next, go to the left menu, click on Text, and then click the plus sign to add it to the timeline. Extend the length of the text layer to match the end of the video. Click on the text box and type several dashes. Then, go to Character and reduce the spacing to around -6 or -7. Scroll down and turn off Uniform Scale. With it turned off, you can adjust the width to fit the video frame. The height can stay the same. Next, on the timeline, copy the text layer and paste it on top to create a duplicate. For the second layer, click on the text box and choose a color you like. I'll pick red to match the YouTube player. Select the layer where we change the color, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. In the right menu, click on Video, and then select Mask. Choose the horizontal mask and rotate the line to make it vertical. Move the mask backward until the red line is no longer visible. Go to the right menu and set a keyframe for the position. Now move the playhead to the end of the clip and drag the mask to the right to reveal the red line. You'll notice that a second keyframe is automatically created for you. Let's check what we've created so far. Looking great. Let's say you want to add a dot to show progress. Go to the left menu, click on Text, then add a text layer to the timeline, ensuring that its length matches the rest of the layers. Now click on the text box, delete the default text, and type a dot. Adjust the size to your preference and set the color to red or any color you're using. Move the dot to the beginning of the line. If you prefer, you can turn this into a compound clip. Click on Video and make sure to enable keyframing for the position. To make the dot follow the progress bar, first move the playhead to the end of the clip. Before moving the red dot, copy the y-axis values to ensure the dot stays horizontally aligned. Move the red dot to the end. Since the y-axis values will change, paste the copied values to keep the dot aligned. Play the video to check. It looks great, but there's a small gap between the dot and the progress bar. To fix this, click on the first keyframe and move the dot backward to fill the gap. For this animation, we'll create a simple progress bar. Start by dragging and dropping your clip or background onto the timeline. Next, go to the top left menu, click on Text, and then drag the default text onto the timeline. To ensure the text layer matches the length of your clip, adjust the text layer's length to fit. Then, go to the right menu, delete the default text, and enter multiple dashes. Scroll down and reduce the character spacing to about -7. Scroll down again and turn off Uniform Scale. This will present two options, Scale Width and Scale Height. Increasing the scale width will extend the length of the line, while scale height will adjust the thickness of the line. I'll set mine to around 354, so it's clearly visible on the screen. Now, I'm going to go to the text box and add more lines to make the progress bar longer. Once you're done, position the line wherever you want. Next, go back to the timeline, select the text layer, right-click, and then copy it. Use your shortcut keys Ctrl+V or Command+V to paste it above. This second text layer is the one we'll change the color of. Make sure it's selected, go to the right menu, click on the color box, and change it to red. Now we need to animate the red line to start from the left and gradually extend to the right. However, there's a problem. Whenever I select the text, I don't have the option to add a mask, which we need to create the animation. Here's the solution. On the timeline, right-click on the second text layer and create a compound clip. Do the same for the first layer as well. This will convert the text layers into video layers. As you can see, there is now a video option in the menu. Click on it, and under Video, you will find the Mask option. Click on Mask, and make sure to select the horizontal mask. Hover over to the preview screen, click and hold on the rotation wheel, and then rotate it vertically. Next, move the mask line backward until you can't see the top layer. Ensure that the playhead is at the beginning of the video. Go to the right menu and enable the keyframe for position. Return to the timeline and move the playhead to the end of the video. Similarly, drag the mask line to the right side of the screen, revealing the entire progress bar. Click on any empty space to deselect, bring the playhead back to the beginning of the video, and play it. It looks great, but if you want to add a fade effect to the animation, select the top layer. On the right menu, click on Video, then Mask. Under Masks, you'll see an option called Feather. Increase this value to create a gradient effect in your animation. I prefer to keep it below 10 for a more realistic look, but you can adjust it to your liking. Now, let's play the video. It looks fantastic. Feel free to customize it however you like. This next motion graphic is actually very easy. First, Import the background into the timeline. Select it, go to the adjustment settings, and increase the vignette effect. You'll need to download the triangle and all animations from the Google Drive link below. You can resize the triangle by dragging its corners. Next, click on Text and add the default text to the timeline. In the right menu, delete the default text and replace it with a series of dashes. Scroll down a bit and set the character spacing to -6. Then, scroll down again and disable Uniform Scale. Start by adjusting the width to make the line as long as you need. The height is also adjustable according to your preference. Drag and position the line on top of the triangle, ensuring there is no gap between them. To animate the line, first, select the line layer in the timeline. Then, scroll down the right menu until you find Transform. Under Transform, enable the keyframe for rotation. Next, I'll extend my clip to about 10 seconds. Since the first keyframe has already been created, move the playhead a few frames forward. Now, click and hold the rotation button, then rotate the line in your desired direction. If you go back, you'll see that the animation has already been applied. Move the playhead forward a few more frames and rotate the line in the opposite direction. Don't worry, once the first keyframe is set, additional keyframes will be automatically created as you adjust the playhead and rotate the line. In the preview, you can already see how the final result will look. Continue moving the playhead and alternating the rotation of the line left and right. For the last keyframe, make sure the line stops in the center. Now, let's preview our progress. It looks amazing. If the animation feels too fast, simply spread the keyframes further apart to slow down the speed. Next, we're going to add a ball. First, move the playhead to the beginning of the clip. Click on the text layer, then drag and drop the default text onto the timeline. Adjust its length to match the rest of the clips. In the right menu, delete the default text and replace it with a dot. Make the dot slightly larger and place it directly on top of the line. Now, we want the ball to move along with the line to create an imbalanced animation. Before we animate, go to the right menu and scroll down. Turn on the glow effect, choose your preferred color, and adjust the intensity and range of the glow. Since the ball is now the focal point, let's animate it. First, click on the second layer, which contains the line, because we'll use the keyframes we created for the line as guidelines to animate the ball. Here's how. Make sure the playhead is at the start of the clip. Select the ball layer, go to the right menu, and scroll until you find Transform. Under Transform, enable keyframes for position. Then, select the line layer and click on the second keyframe. This will automatically move the playhead to that keyframe. Now, go back to the ball layer and move the ball wherever the line is low. Switch to full screen to ensure the ball touches the line perfectly. If it's not aligned, adjust the Y position values until it fits. Once satisfied, click on the line layer again, select the third keyframe, then return to the ball layer and reposition it. Repeat this process for each keyframe until you're done. Our animation isn't complete yet, so let's play it. As you can see, the ball is just following the keyframes we created. Now, let's make it perfect. It's actually simple. Move the playhead to the start of the timeline. You'll use the left and right arrow keys to move backward or forward along the timeline. Next, go to the right menu and scroll until you see the Position option. We'll only be working with the Y position. Use the right arrow key on the keyboard to move forward. If the ball is too low, adjust it by clicking the small up arrow. Keep moving forward and make adjustments as needed. If the ball is too high, click or hold the down arrow to move it lower. Just keep repeating this process. You can rewatch this video if you get confused. Once you're done, your animation should look like this. It only took me 10 minutes of easy, repeated steps. It would have taken the rest of my life to do this in After Effects. Now, you just need to write something that will grab people's attention and make them stop scrolling to engage with your video. Additionally, to make the ball animation smoother, you can try this optional step. Select the ball layer and press K on your keyboard to display the keyframe animation. Click the small downward arrow to reveal the keyframes. Then, simply select all the keyframes, click on Graph, and preview different options. Choose the graph that improves your animation. I personally chose Ease Out 2. After that, press K again to hide the menu. And here we have our final animation. Fantastic! This is a basic animation. Start by placing your background on the timeline and adding a vignette. Then, click on Text and add it to the timeline. Type numbers from 1 to 9 and position them at the bottom. Select the text layer, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. Next, click on Video, and under the video settings, click on Mask. Choose the circle mask and position it where the numbers start. On the right menu, increase the feather to around 30 and reduce the circle size. When you move the mask around, it creates a cool gradient text reveal effect. Make sure the playhead is at the start of the clip. Turn on the keyframe for position in the right menu. Now, move the playhead to the end of the clip and drag the mask all the way to the right side of the screen. Your animation should now look like this. For this motion animation, I downloaded the assets from Flaticon, but I've included them in the link below for you to download. Let's begin by adding the background to the timeline. Click on Adjustment and increase the vignette. Next, move to the top left corner, click on Text, then click the plus button to add a text layer to the timeline. Now, select the text box, delete the default text, and type "Wake Up" or anything else you like. Choose your own font, color, and position the text below. I'll also reduce the text size slightly. Next, click on Text again and add another text layer to the timeline. This time, delete the default text and write several dashes to create a straight line. To eliminate the gaps between the dashes, reduce the character spacing to -6. Add more dashes to extend the line. Then, in the preview screen, click and hold the rotation icon to rotate the line vertically. Adjust its height so it fits at the top of the screen, allowing space to write additional text. You can also place this line layer beneath the "Wake Up" text layer. Ensure the vertical line is centered on the screen. On the timeline, copy the "Wake Up" text layer and paste it to create a duplicate. In the preview screen, drag the new layer to the top of the vertical line. Then, in the right-hand menu, change the text to "Successful Day." Since the word is longer, I shortened it to "Success." Now, select the line layer again, scroll down the left-hand menu, and turn off the uniform scale. With this setting off, you can adjust the height or width of the line more freely. Ensure all layers have the same length. For this animation, I want it to be 7 seconds long. It's time to animate the line. First, select the line layer, right-click, and create a compound clip. We want the "Wake Up" text to appear first in the animation, so the line should start 2 frames later. Press the forward button twice, then drag the beginning of the line to the position of the playhead. Go to the video menu, select Mask, and choose the horizontal mask. Click the reverse button since we want the mask to move upward. Lower the mask until the vertical line is no longer visible. Set the feather to 5 for a smooth gradient effect. With the line layer still selected, enable keyframing for position. Move the playhead a few frames before the end of the layer, then drag the mask upwards, but not too far, so the feather effect is still visible. Play the animation from the start to check your progress. It's looking good. Now, adjust the beginning of the success layer so it appears right after the second keyframe of the progress line. Next, we'll add different activities for the day. Add a new text layer and type your first activity. I'll write "Pray" and choose my preferred font. Reduce the size and position it on the right side of the line. Duplicate this text and place the copy on the left side of the line. Keep duplicating and positioning text for each activity you want to include, placing them near the line. Now, rename each text layer accordingly. If the text is too big, resize it to fit more activities. Once done, select all the activity text layers and extend them to match the length of the other clips. Here's how the animation looks so far. Now, let's make the text appear only when the progress line reaches their positions. Move the playhead to where the line reaches the "Pray" text. Then, adjust the start of the prayer layer so it begins when the progress line aligns with it. Use this method for the remaining activities. Once you've completed this, your clip should look like this. If you're not satisfied with the text placement, adjust them and ensure there is enough spacing before moving on to the next step. Next, let's add PNGs representing different activities, starting with prayer. Ensure each image is correctly sized and that the start and end points of each image layer align with the corresponding text layers. Add another text layer to the timeline to indicate when each activity is completed. Place this text layer above the first activity. Delete the default text and type a dot. Increase the size of the dot and position it next to the first activity. After that, duplicate the dot layer and place the new layer above the Get Ready text. Make sure the layer's start and end times match those of the Get Ready text and position the dot accordingly. Repeat this process for all the remaining layers. So far, it looks good, but let's improve it. First, select the word Success, then go to the right-hand menu, click on Animation, and choose an animation. For this, I'll select the Zoom In animation. Now, let's also change the color of all the dots. Additionally, I've added a sparkling sticker that appears whenever the word Success shows up. I've also added sound effects and music to enhance our animation. Finally, to polish the video, apply the bounce in animation to all the activity text layers.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
And the zoom in animation to all the PNG images. Once you're done, add an edge glow effect to each layer to give your motion graphic more viral appeal. It's time to create a clean, simple start-to-finish progress line. Begin by dragging and dropping the background onto the timeline, then enable the vignette effect. Next, add a text layer to the timeline, extending its length to match the background. On the left menu, select the text box, delete the default text, and type a series of dashes. To close the gaps between the dashes, reduce the character spacing to -6. Scroll down and turn off Uniform Scale. Increase the width and rotate the line vertically. Adjust the height and width as needed, but make sure to leave some space at both the top and bottom. Now, add another text layer, matching its length with the other layers. Click the text box, type Finish, choose your preferred font, resize the text, and place it at the top. In the timeline, right-click the Finish layer, copy and paste it on top of itself. Drag the new layer to the opposite end of the line and change the text to Start. Next, select the line layer and duplicate it by copying and pasting it on top of itself. Change the color to your liking. Right-click the layer and choose Create Compound Clip. Now, go to Video, then Mask, and choose the horizontal mask option. Click the reverse mask icon because the animation will start from the bottom and move upward. Ensure the playhead is at the beginning. Click and hold the mask line, dragging it down until the colored line is no longer visible. In the right menu, turn on the keyframe for position. Move the playhead to the end of the clip, then drag the mask line to the top. The mask will be automatically created. Return the playhead to the beginning and check your progress. For a smoother color transition, you can add a feather effect to create a gradient look. You can also add a new text layer to the timeline, delete the default text, and type a dot. Increase its size and place it at the start of the progress line, making sure it's the same color as the line. Match the layer's length to the others. To animate the dot, scroll down and turn on the keyframe for position. Move the playhead to the end of the clip and drag the dot to the end of the progress line. And that's the final result. Fantastic! As a bonus, here's how I created this 3D-looking CapCut logo. First, import the CapCut logo that I've included in the assets. Drag and drop it onto the timeline, placing it on top of the background video. Select the logo layer, then go to the right-hand menu and click on Animation. Next, click on Combo Animation and try out any of the 3D cube animations. There are plenty of cool animations that you can use creatively. After choosing the animation you like, be sure to add some CapCut whoosh sound effects to enhance it. Thank you for watching.